Good evening, I am MJ Nye, and this is your Situation Room. Tonight, we rip open the veil on the Polisario Front, the shadowy Sahrawi group that has turned a forgotten Spanish desert colony into Africa's longest and most dangerous frozen war. What started in 1973 as a handful of student rebels fighting Spanish imperialism has morphed into a complex geopolitical firestorm. They're propped up by billions from their patrons in Algeria, hosted in the sprawling Tindouf camps, which are filled with disputed refugees, and now, according to explosive 2025 intelligence leaks, armed with deadly Iranian suicide drones. For over 3 decades, UN-led referendums have gone nowhere, stalled in a political quagmire. In 2020, a fragile ceasefire shattered, plunging the region back into low-intensity conflict. But who is really running this show? For the next 10 minutes, we are diving deep into declassified documents, United Nations mission reports, and fresh intelligence on an alarming arms buildup. If geopolitics is what hooks you, smash that like button right now. The unvarnished truth is incoming. Flashback to 1971. The setting: Moroccan universities, buzzing with post-colonial fervor. A small group of young Sahrawi students, some of them survivors of the brutal 1968 Zouerate massacres, form a clandestine organization, the Embryonic Movement for the Liberation of Sagia, El Hamra, and Rio de Oro. Their dream of an independent Western Sahara was met with a cold shoulder. They sought support from Morocco and Algeria, but were rejected. They received only faint nods of encouragement from Libya and Mauritania. With few options left, they made a fateful decision. They bolted to the Spanish Sahara to take matters into their own hands. On May 10, 1973, in the remote outpost of Ain Bentili, the Polisario Front was officially born. Its founding members were a mere dozen Sahrawi students, joined by a few veterans of the Spanish army. Just 10 days later, they launched their first audacious attack. The target, the El Conga desert post. They swiftly overran the garrison, and its defenders, the Tropas Nómadas, a unit of Sahrawi auxiliaries serving Spain, defected on the spot, turning over their rifles to the nascent rebellion. This was their spark. By 1975, a UN visiting mission led by Simeon Ake concluded there was an overwhelming consensus among Sahrawis for independence, identifying Polisario as the dominant political force. Their ranks had swelled to 800 fighters, but more importantly, they were backed by a massive network of sympathizers. That same year, Spain decided to quit the territory, signing the Madrid Accords and partitioning the land between Morocco and Mauritania. For Polisario, the game was on. It was a shocking start to a long war, not a mass army, but an elite, determined guerrilla cell ready to fight. The Moroccan and Mauritanian advance in 1975 triggered a massive exodus. Nearly half of the Sahrawi population fled the fighting, trekking across the harsh desert to find refuge in Tindouf, southwestern Algeria. This moment changed everything. The Polisario Front relocated its headquarters to the newly formed camps, and Algeria stepped in as its primary benefactor, bankrolling their entire operation. It was from this base of support that, on February 27, 1976, the Polisario proclaimed the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, or SADR, a government in exile that would become their political face to the world. With a secure base and a powerful state sponsor, the war escalated dramatically. The Polisario's army, once a small band, swelled to thousands of fighters, armed by Algeria and Libya. Camels were replaced with Spanish Land Rovers. Ancient muskets were swapped for modern Kalashnikovs. Their devastating hit-and-run tactics inflicted heavy losses on their adversaries. In a notorious 1977 raid on Zouerate, they kidnapped French miners and killed civilians, signaling their reach and ruthlessness. By 1979, the pressure was too much for Mauritania, which signed a peace treaty and withdrew from the conflict. This left the Polisario to focus its entire war machine on a single enemy, Morocco. The Tindouf camps, meanwhile, became a state within a state under tight Algerian control. Human Rights Watch audits have raised serious questions about the camp populations, suggesting many were not just refugees, but included ex-Tropas Nómadas, Moroccan Sahrawis, and even non-Sahrawi Arabs and Mauritanians. This proto-state developed a rigid structure, a political bureau led by its first Secretary General, Brahim Ghali, a military wing known as the ELPS, with 5,000 to 10,000 fighters, and tightly controlled youth and women's wings. The conflict then settled into a 16-year-long bloodbath. The Polisario's guerrilla fighters were at their peak, launching deep and punishing raids into both southern Morocco and Mauritania. An advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice in 1975 proved inconclusive, with both sides cherry-picking passages to support their claims. By the 1980s, the war had reached a bitter stalemate. The Moroccan military constructed a massive 2,700-kilometer-long sand berm, effectively walling off the territory it controlled. This brutal reality led to a UN-brokered ceasefire in 1991. The deal came with a promise: A UN mission, MINURSO, would be deployed to oversee a referendum allowing the Sahrawi people to choose between independence or integration with Morocco. But that vote never happened. For 3 decades, the process has been frozen, primarily over one intractable question: who is eligible to vote? Morocco insists that thousands of its citizens who settled in the territory should be included, while the Polisario argues that only the original nomadic population from the last Spanish census in 1974 should have a say. As the diplomatic process stalled, life in the Tindouf camps hardened. A damning 2014 Human Rights Watch report detailed a pattern of repression, suppression of dissent, and allegations of aid diversion and forced child recruitment. The demographics became a weapon in themselves, with an estimated 50% of the camp's population born in exile, never having seen their homeland. All the while, Algeria's support remained unwavering, estimated at over $1 billion per year in fuel, food, and military training. While Libya's support faded after the fall of Gaddafi, the SADR gained recognition from around 80 states, primarily in Africa and Latin America, securing observer status at the African Union. For nearly 30 years, the ceasefire held, however precariously. That all changed in November 2020. The spark was a Moroccan operation to clear a Polisario blockade at the Guerguerat border crossing with Mauritania. In response, the Polisario Front declared the ceasefire null and void. The war was back on. Rocket barrages and skirmishes resumed along the sand berm. In this new phase of conflict, the Polisario's military structure has evolved. The ELPS has modernized its arsenal, employing 4.4 vehicles and anti-tank guided missiles. Foreign support has also ramped up. Algeria remains the logistical core, but Russia's influence is seen in legacy hardware like DSHK heavy machine guns and surface-to-air missiles. South Africa provides crucial diplomatic cover on the international stage. Back in the camps, the humanitarian situation remains dire. The UNHCR's 2023 figures count 173,000 refugees, but reports of malnutrition and hopelessness are rampant. Probes into the origins of the camp populations, including debated genetic studies, suggest deep links between many residents and tribes from southern Morocco, challenging the narrative of a purely Sahrawi nomad nation in exile. The Polisario today is a hybrid entity, part revolutionary movement, part conscript army, part a fractured community of exiles. And now, we turn to the firestorm, the intelligence bombshell that is sending shockwaves across the region. Declassified intelligence reports from 2023 and 2024 reveal a terrifying new player on the Saharan chessboard: Iran. According to multiple sources, Iran is now supplying the Polisario Front with advanced weaponry, including suicide drones and man-portable air defense systems, or manpads. The weapons are allegedly being funneled through Algeria. Specific models cited include Arash, loitering munitions, and other attack drones. The reports get even more alarming. They allege that operatives from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and its proxy, Hezbollah, have been training hundreds of Polisario fighters in desert camps. Under intense international pressure, Algeria reportedly ordered the withdrawal of these foreign trainers in June 2025, but intelligence agencies report that sightings persist. Why would Iran get involved? The motive appears clear: to open a new front in its shadow war against Morocco, which normalized relations with Israel in 2020. Algeria's role is that of a facilitator, providing its territory and intelligence cover for these operations. UN Human Rights Council documents even allege the transfer of SAM-9 Strela missile systems via Tehran. The Polisario vehemently denies these claims, but Moroccan intelligence insists it is facing a full-blown proxy threat. The stakes could not be higher. Iranian drones operating from Tindouf directly threaten Morocco's long-held air superiority over the Sahara. So what does the Polisario Front look like in 2025? At the top sits Brahim Ghali, serving as both president and secretary general. The military wing, the ELPS, consists of an estimated 5,000 to 7,000 regular fighters. The Tindouf camps function as a quasi-state, with schools teaching an SADR-approved curriculum and even issuing their own passports. The matrix of support is clearer than ever. Algeria provides an estimated 90% of the group's lifeline. Iran is the new supplier of advanced technology like drones and training. Russia provides ammunition, while countries like Venezuela and Cuba offer diplomatic solidarity. Testimonies from escapees and reports from organizations like Human Rights Watch suggest that only 40 to 60% of the camp's inhabitants are native to Western Sahara, with the rest drawn from southern Morocco, Mauritania, and other Sahelian populations. The viral truth is this: we are not looking at a monolithic Sahrawi nation, but a fractured community of exiles, entirely dependent on the strategic calculations of Algiers. From a small band of student rebels in 1973 to a sophisticated army of drone warriors in 2025, the 50-year saga of the Polisario Front exposes the Sahara as a proxy chessboard, where great and regional powers play a deadly game. Will the UN vote ever happen? Will the introduction of Iranian drones escalate this frozen conflict into a full-blown regional war? And what is Algeria's ultimate endgame? I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below. Rebel, Proxy, or other, and give me your take. Like this video for the truth, subscribe and hit the bell for ongoing updates on the Sahara, and share this report to expose the reality of the camps. Coming up next, can Morocco's high-tech wall hold against a new generation of warfare? Millions are watching this space. Let's make it viral.